Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be covering the Platinum Trophy experience for Demon Slayer, based on the popular anime series that came out in 2019. Demon Slayer overall was a pretty fun experience, and the Platinum for the most part was pretty fun outside of a few frustrating fights at the end. I can recommend this game to anybody who has or hasn't watched the anime, as the game does a pretty good job in giving you all the major details of the story that unfolds in the anime. And as for the Platinum experience, well, what was that like? Firstly, let's break down what we are dealing with in the game. We have 32 bronze, 12 silver and 2 gold trophies to collect. The trophy list revolves around mainly getting S ranks in all the main story missions and the side battle challenges along the way, as well as collecting all the memory fragments found in the world. Then there is just a bunch of miscellaneous trophies in versus mode, collecting all the quotes and the music tracks, and finally, getting most of the rank 10 challenges done. I managed to acquire the Platinum for this game in around 9 hours, but that was mainly due to me skipping all the cutscenes and the dialogue options. The reason for this was because I have watched through Demon Slayer twice already, and the second time was very recently, so I didn't feel the need to watch everything again, which greatly cut my time to end the Platinum. Now, if this is your first time playing the game, I do recommend watching the cutscenes to get a feel for the story and the characters. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the first thing that I want to cover, and that is the S ranks. The S ranks for the main story, as far as I was able to tell, was based around how much health you kept as well as your combo potential. For the most part in the story missions, as long as you kept above 50% of your health and generated decent combos, you would always get an S rank. At least that's what I found when I was going through my playthrough of the game. Outside of the side challenges, which required a little more from you, especially towards the end, needing you to keep over 90% of your health and finishing the fight in a set amount of time to get the max score. For most of the game, the boss fights are just a case of evading attacks until they leave themselves in a vulnerable state, and then it's just basically rinse and repeat. But the end few bosses definitely ramp up the difficulty curve when you end up playing against Akaza and the Rengoku. When I first played against Akaza, I was a bit surprised just how much harder he was than anything I played up to that point in the game. I found it a little odd for most of the game that every boss is a cakewalk, then suddenly they have a difficulty spike like that. I actually would have felt better if the difficulty would have progressively got harder instead of hitting you like a brick wall at the end. But overall, after a few tries, you start picking up where the best places are to attack and evade, just like you always have done with previous fights in the story. The Rengoku was actually a bit of a strange one, because with him, I found it better to actually block most of his attacks rather than evade. Up to this stage in the game, I want to point out that I almost never blocked any attacks or felt that I needed to for the vast majority of the game. I just ended up evading out of the way, or would sneak in a few parries here and there. So after I cleared all the S ranks, I would then move on to the next lot of trophies that I would try and tackle, and these would be the versus mode trophies and the miscellaneous trophies. Now a key thing to point out here is that there is no online trophies. You don't need to grind wins or ranks online. Every versus mode trophy can be earned offline. You can do this by either playing against the CPU, or you can grab a second controller. Either method you want to try here is fine, as the CPU doesn't really pose any challenge, especially after you've just got done with all the S ranks. So let's just do a quick overview of the trophies that are in versus mode. Performing an emergency escape, which is done by pressing the assist button while you are taking damage, and the assist character will come in and take you away from the attack. Getting a 25 hit combo, which can be done easily with Tanjiro, as he has the easiest time maxing out his combo count with minimum effort. Winning versus mode without losing a single round. Winning versus mode for the first time. Then there is playing versus mode for the first time. Getting ultimate art in versus mode. And lastly, you have to finish off an opponent with an light attack 5 hit combo, which can be a little tricky at first, because you need to get the kill with the 5th hit. Now honestly, this might take you a few tries to get because it can be a little annoying, but honestly, if you have the luxury, I would probably use a second controller for this one. Now the good news is that these versus trophies don't really take too long to get at all, maybe less than an hour. But at this stage you should have all the versus mode related trophies done, and all the S ranks done. Feel free to get any of the collectible stuff either before or after the versus mode trophies. It's really up to you in what order you want to do things. Thankfully, the collectible trophies in this game are very easy to get. They're all marked on the map, which means that you won't need to use any guards to look up where they are. I actually wish more games did this instead of making you do pointless busy work and looking at guides all day long. Just be mindful though that in Chapter 7, the Butterfly Mansion, make sure you do check the full house before you leave, as I missed a few in my first time around. So at this point there is only one thing left to do, and that is get most of the rank 10 challenges done. I say most as you only need to complete the rank 10 challenges for 10 characters and not all of them on the list. I will say this, it's more about grinding at this stage, it's just about meeting the requirements of each mission and getting through a total of 100 of them. Be careful if you are playing Gyu's Mission 10 though, as you are required to make 3 parries for one of the challenges, and parrying in this game at times I can imagine will be a little tricky for some players, so just remember to keep this in mind. And after you have managed to plough your way through all the rank 10 challenges, you'll be granted with a new shiny platinum trophy. I hope you enjoyed the video and you have found it either entertaining or it helped you with a platinum trophy. Feel free to leave a comment if you have the platinum for the game or plan on getting Demon Slayer. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the content. Remember to click the bell icon to keep updated on all the new videos for the future. With all that being said, thanks for watching and have a good one guys.